What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Apple Juice for Two podcast. I am your host, Cameron Allen. Today we are joined by DJ Dollamenu.
What up, what up?
Thanks for joining us, man. We also have, obviously, Isaiah Allen, a.k.a. Lil Zay News, a.k.a. DJ Zay, a.k.a. bassist, Reverend Zay. And then we also have Brevin Stallings in the house.
Carpenter Brev, Wood Brev,
Lathe Bread.
I'm a craftsman.
Exactly.
Craftsman Brev, yeah.
Well, it is great to be back, guys. Thanks for joining us. Ooh,
nice and fizzy.
That's Bud Light Next fizz.
Yeah.
Can you explain the drink?
Yeah, what is that?
I have seen ads
I haven't
for it.
seen the Bud Light Next yet.
Yeah, so basically Bud Light Next is like 0 carbs, but like
Keto.
Yeah, keto, gluten free. Yeah. It's not gluten free. It's like a way lighter Bud Light, if that was even possible. They did it.
They did it. Wow.
Yeah.
Dang,
It's interesting they don't say, or the name has nothing to do with light.
Nah, it's just next.
That makes it easier to order. I mean,
Next.
Like, you don't have to like identify.
No, thank you, Bud Light.
Yeah, shout out Bud Light for the crisp.
Yeah.
Bud Light Next.
How did that?
Oh,
sorry,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I am curious. Like, how did that happen to getting a brand deal with Bud Light?
Oh yeah, so shout out to homies R. and Natty, because they put me on game. They were like the two. I mean, not were, they still are like the main like Bud Light guys or whatever, like the Bud Light DJs.
Okay.
And then they kind of just passed the torch over to me now.
Nice.
And like I'm like the new Bud Light person.
Like a Bud Light team.
So they have like one for each city, like Charleston, or is it just like in general?
I don't know. I think they were just like this region's like Bud Light
like
people
or whatever.
Yeah, okay. But they've been doing it for like a super long time, and they were just like, all right, like we gotta have some like a new guy, you know what I mean, to pass the torch to, and they trusted me with it, so I'm super grateful for that.
That's a good gig.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Budweiser is quite established.
Oh yeah,
that is.
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
they're doing good for themselves.
They're not new.
They are a recognizable brand. I would agree. Well, we actually, Isaiah and I saw you last weekend. I think it was at Royal American. Isaiah, what was that? Friday, Saturday?
It was Friday.
Yeah,
Friday. Yeah.
It's a blur.
It was just so.
Friday night was a party, dude.
Man.
This was like a fucking movie.
Yeah, it was no.
So, but you were rapping there, right?
Yeah.
Nice. So, how often do you do that?
The rapping part?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, just as much as the DJ stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, so like I started rapping and DJing at like around the same time. So like I never really like.
You're always doing it at the same time.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. You know,
I was gonna ask like when did that transition happen, but since you just kind of like grown doing that yourself.
Oh yeah, I just
that makes sense.
Do you like doing both? Is that like?
Oh yeah.
Kind of what you want to do?
Yeah, I get that question like a lot, where people be like, "Which one? If you had to choose?" And it's like, I can't choose. Like,
I mean,
those
both those skills go hand in hand too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
You're DJing, you could just start rapping over it.
Yeah,
or vice versa.
Yeah, and actually the show that y'all like pulled up to, I was DJing and rapping that show.
Right.
So.
Oh, okay, nice.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds ideal. You can do both in one night.
Yeah.
So when you DJ for yourself, like, how do you manage what you want to play yourself in your own taste versus like what the job expects and what like the people expect and the venue expects?
Oh yeah, so that can be tricky sometimes. But for me, in the beginning, I had to really just play, whatever the establishment that was booking me wanted me to be playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just to like get my foot in the door and like really like be like I can do whatever. I can play anything.
Mm-hmm.
But then like building myself as like an artist and a brand and everything, people just start to expect what I play, you know what I mean? So like now
they want to hear you.
Exactly. Yeah. So before it was just like,
respect.
they booked the DJ, but now they booked me to do me. So that's cool.
How did you go about developing your brand? Like, did you find that hard at all, or did you always have like DJ Dollamenu and like how did that come about?
Oh, dude. Okay, so it like accidentally happened, but like
that's how it goes.
Yeah. So
that's how you know it's right.
Back home, so I'm from like Aiken, Augusta area. If y'all are familiar with that,
yeah.
All right, that's like the easiest way to explain where I'm from. But anyway, so the spot like that was right next to like my parents' house. It was McDonald's in Clearwater, and I used to go there like every day. No joke. Like, people be like, I go to McDonald's every day. I was there like multiple times a day.
Should have worked there. Next thing
worked
you know, you're gonna get sponsored by McDonald's. That has to be the goal.
But like McDonald's, you're set for
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba,
life.
DJ's
Dude,
loving it.
I would order off the DJ Dollamenu every fucking night.
Yeah.
Can you get the DJ Dollamenu meal?
Bro.
That'd be some fire shit.
Hey, man.
That'd be some
Let's
fire
speak it
shit.
into existence.
Yeah.
I'm with
Manifest
it.
that.
Wait, so you are a regular at McDonald's?
Oh,
in your
yeah.
hometown.
Okay, so like, but this is, mind you, I'm like a kid. Like, so like, I'm using like my allowance to like just blow it on the McDonald's food. But I got smart with it. I was like, yo, I'm spending way too much. Like, at my $20 allowance. I was like, yo, let me just order off the dollar menu. So I was like making these crazy meals out of just like whatever money I had, like $5, $10, but I was ordering strictly off the dollar menu. And it got to the point where I would come in and they'd be like, oh, they go little dollar menu in here. And so then,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So then they got to the point where like people could ask me like, oh, yo, so let me get at school, they'd be like, let me get a McChicken and blah, 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 do. And I could tell you the price of it, bro.
Yeah.
Because I've been there so many times. So anyway, fast forward, whenever Instagram came around and stuff, I was like, oh, I'm about to make an Instagram name. And I just thought DJ Khaled was just hilarious as a person.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't understand the mechanics of DJing and like what he actually did as a producer. So I just thought he was funny for yelling his name on tracks. And I was like, bro, what if I made my name like DJ Dollamenu?
Yeah.
And then I took it a step further and I was like, what if I started like making like mixes? Like just like, I don't know how, I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I was going to yell over it and be like, DJ Dollamenu. That was before I was even a DJ. And that's how the name came about.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's respect.
It's like a term of affection that was coined for you.
Yeah.
It came about organically. Ironically, it was associated with McDonald's, which isn't anything there is organic. So
Nothing.
I think it's crazy though that you hear dollar menu and you think McDonald's.
Yeah.
They've just like
That is true.
yeah.
They kind of have a monopoly on the dollar menu market.
They don't even have a dollar menu anymore. They have like
was
a
gonna say,
value
That's a
menu
good
or
point.
something.
Yeah, that's true.
McDonald's is not cheap.
It's not what it
On
used to be.
topic, like breakfast, a meal at breakfast is like $9.50. It's crazy.
I miss the days when everything was cheap, or you just got shit paid for you. Now you got to pay for it
Yeah.
yourself.
But I
that's
mean,
true.
miss
they're
those
always
days.
packed. So why
Speaking
wouldn't
of
you?
getting paid, do you remember your first paid set as a DJ?
Yep. I was playing at what's that? And so there was this spot downtown. Okay, the whole reason I started DJing was because I skateboard, right? So like
Word.
in our hometown, one of my best friends owned our skate park. He's like our age and everything. He was just popping, owned a skate park. Shout out Bo Mitchell. So Bo owned this park called Hick Warehouse, and he was like, "Yo, bro, you want to DJ? You want to DJ one of these skate contests?" And I was like,
Ooh, nice.
because I had been like throwing these parties, and like I would have my mom's laptop, and I'd just be in there just on virtual DJ, just like pressing buttons, playing songs, mixing them horribly. So everybody in there just lit. So
Yeah.
he's like, "Yo, you want to do that at the park?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I did that, and then he was like, "Yo, that was dope." He was like, "You should try to get paid for this," and I was like, "Ain't no way." He was like, "You could do that."
Oh,
So,
nice.
dude, somehow he like set up me DJing downtown Aiken at like one of these like
Damn.
small sport bars, and downtown Aiken wasn't like popping at all really, but there was a school down there,
Yeah,
like,
USC
you know,
Aiken,
yeah,
that's
USC
right.
Aiken.
Yeah,
That's where I was at. So, bro, we packed it out, dude. We packed it out first night, and I was in there wilding. No DJ controller. I had like my mom's laptop, a cardboard box that was sitting on, and I was sitting on a stool. But bro, it was dope, and that's the first one I got paid for.
That's amazing. So how did you make the transition from doing that to clubs in Charleston?
So I started doing more in Aiken, and then I branched out to Augusta, which is not too far from Aiken.
Right.
Okay.
And then I started doing like house parties and stuff, and you know I got like actual like DJ stuff.
Yeah.
And then like one of the homies was like, "Hey, bro, like you should try to go to like either Charleston, LA, or Atlanta because you're pretty much maxing out like what you're doing here."
Right.
And I was like, "Dang, all right, cool."
Yeah.
So I came to Charleston because one of the homies had a spot here. Shout out Brent. Brent's like one of my best friends. And Brent actually is the person who made me rap too.
Let's go.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice.
So he's responsible for that.
Oh yeah.
And-
It always takes supportive friends.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
And friends that will push you in the right direction.
Yeah, I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for like my friends and family, like just randomly like pushing me to do weird shit.
That's
Like,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's respect.
So
Oh yeah.
shout out to y'all. But yeah, so Brent was like, "Yo, come to Charleston, man. It's lit." And so I was coming up there like every like other week, just meeting people and stuff. And then I had homies up here that DJ'd and produced already. Strawberry Squad. I don't know if y'all heard it. Y'all know, I mean, y'all know Strawberry Squad.
I think we followed them on Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. So all of them, they were like older than me, been DJing way longer than me, but because I had been DJing with another member of the Strawberry Squad who lived in Aiken and Augusta, they were like familiar with me enough to where they were like, "Yo, come up here, we'll put you on." Like da da da. So like, shout out to them because they really like got me into the scene without me having to do a lot of like super like hard like.
So it's kind of like a network of DJs. Sounds like.
Like DJs, producers, like musicians in general, like
nice.
artists. So anyway, when I got here, they were like, "Yo, you could live here if you wanted to," and I was like, "All right, cool." Nice. So the place that I was crashing at, they had an extra room, and I was like, "Yo, let me rent that out." And then I paid for my rent for like 4 or 5 months. And I went out to LA just to see what it was like.
Okay.
So and I went with Bo. So we drove cross country and we would stop at all these major cities where the homies were at and we skate with them and stuff. It was like a big skate trip.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was dope. Went out to LA and we were staying in Long Beach and stuff. Fun. I mainly went out there just to skate, but like I really wanted to see if I wanted to live out there.
California does have insane skating.
It's like
every
it's a big
street
skate
is
park.
just
It's a big
like they made it for it.
Damn.
Yeah,
isn't that kind of where skating comes from?
Yeah, because from surfing.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's interesting.
But
watch Lords of Dogtown. It's a good movie.
Oh, okay.
Like, talks about it.
For Dogtown.
Lords of Dogtown.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Have you seen that movie? What's it called, Brevin? The one about skating that we watched.
Mid 90s or
mid 90s? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie.
I need to watch
that movie. It was awesome.
Some of the homies in there.
Do you like mostly street skating or?
Yeah. So
parks?
yeah. So like I mean nowadays I just skate whenever I can. You know what I mean? Because it's like I be dumb busy. Yeah. But I mean when I skated the most, it was at the parks. You know what I mean? Because like my best friend owned a park. I was always there, and we'd obviously go street skating too. Like that's part of the culture. You know what I mean? So like, but the like the more I got invested into like music, I was like, all right, I need to like not get broke off every weekend so I can like go do stuff. So like I just go skate at like, you know, here I go skate at like Bridge Spot.
Yeah.
Or like
they're doing a ton of new stuff in there now too.
Oh yeah, bro. They're always like revamping it.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. Everybody does that.
Yeah. Well, so it seems like, you know, DJing must be like physically taxing, kind of similar to like skateboarding. You know, you're like up for really long hours in the wee hours of the night, you know what I mean? Day after day. How do you keep yourself going and like energized or whatever?
I sleep a lot actually.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean like as much as, so I DJ probably like 7 or 8 times a week.
Okay, nice.
But I sleep a lot. Like I see it surprisingly. Like my parents will be like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "Yo, I slept for 13 hours."
Oh my God, damn.
But no, I sleep during the day, like when everybody doing like regular human stuff, and then like I'll wake up at like 7 or 8.
Yeah, when they're coming out to get fucked up.
Yeah,
I bet your driving experience is just better than most people.
So much better
because there's not as many people.
I never see kids.
No commutes.
I'm so jealous.
No traffic.
Nothing.
No traffic.
Okay, I'm curious to ask, having asked other DJs, do you have a sobriety rule for yourself when you're DJing?
No. I mean, well, I think it's because like I'm like a very good drinker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know yourself.
Yeah, everyone's different.
Yeah.
People who don't know themselves, they'll get lost so easily. You know what I mean?
100% lost. So I seen it happen. But like, you know, like I got like my tolerance for, you know, drinking, great. And also I drink a lot of water too. I think that like helps.
That's true. That's smart.
So
a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
What do you think like? Or actually, what's a crazy story from behind the DJ stand that you have? Like people just maybe get lost in the sauce or
get a little too aggressive.
A
little too personal, touchy.
Take their song requests too far.
I'm trying to. I got a lot of them. I'm just trying to think of like appropriate ones that I can tell right now.
Yeah, we can go.
Do the inappropriate ones.
Go rated R.
I mean, honestly, I think just like the song requests, like that culture behind just like asking for a song in the middle of a set is wild because like it's evolved since I started. Because it used to be like kind of discreet. They'd be like,
interesting.
Hey, like, can we get a song? And then it like got the more like on some like note passing
Oh my
stuff.
God.
It's like song request on a napkin and then like $1 or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's slick.
and then they got bold with it. They'll just come like grab you. Hey,
Jeez.
play Taylor Swift. Your handshake way too strong to be asking for Taylor
Yeah,
Swift.
some 21-year-old girls like, hey, can you play some Taylor Swift? You're like, damn, you gripping on my hand kind of hard right now.
Bones crunching. Yeah, but now they got the whole thing where they just hold it on they like open up Snapchat and type it, and then they're just like,
Oh, yeah, that's seen that more recently.
yeah.
That's fucking lame.
Yeah, but the wildest, I think, not the wildest, but a wild story, I think was, I'm trying to think of one that's cool to tell about this, man. Okay, I'm gonna say this without saying no names or
Okay.
where I was playing at
Okay.
to make it
That's cool.
to make it chill.
Of-
Okay, so I'm DJing at a place,
Mm.
all right, and it's popping, right, and I keep getting these stares from the bar, like the people at the bar. And it's a couple and like 2 other people, but it's packed in there. But I can feel them staring at me. I'm like, they want a song request. I know they do. So, the lady comes up and she's like, hey, you take a request? And I was like, I mean, it depends on what it is. And she's like, okay. Drops a 20 in my like tip jar, and I was like, all right. I'm waiting for her to give me a request. Nothing. She don't say nothing. I'm like, all right. She goes back to her friends. So I'm like, I guess I'm doing a good job. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
So then the guy comes up. He's like, yo, my wife thinks you're doing a great job, man. Like, keep crushing it. I'm like, oh, word, thanks, man. 20 in the box. I'm like,
Yeah.
say less. I'm keeping the vibe going. You know what I'm saying? It's going crazy in there. It's getting closer to like last call's approaching. So then he comes back up and then he's like, hey, man, like we're having a really good time right now. Will you playing after this? I'm like, well, it's almost 1:30, so probably nowhere.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, man. Like, well, my wife really likes your music. Would you want to play like later? And I'm like, what is it? Like y'all having you having an after party? Like, what does this mean? And he's like, yeah, man. Like, like whatever's cool. I'm like, He's like, get my number. So I'm like, all right. So I put his number in the phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, call it. I'm like, no, because now he has my number. So,
Oh, shit, yeah, exactly.
so I'm like, and I'm like, I try to like hang up real quick so he don't like.
Yeah.
Anyway, me telling this story right now is making my stomach hurt. This is
God.
Anyway, so long story short, they call me while I'm packing up, and they're like, "Yo, you trying to hang out after this?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "Nah. I mean, I gotta wake up early tomorrow. I don't. I gotta wake up early tomorrow. I'm
I
good
don't
on
know
this.
who you
on this."
are.
I go outside to my car. They're out there. And they're just like, yo, like, so we had a really good time. Like, you want to keep the party going? And I was like, nah, I'm good. They're way drunker than they were when I saw them earlier. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm like putting my stuff in my car. And her husband's like, let me help you. So he's like putting his stuff, like trying to grab stuff and put it in the car. And he like grabs my arm, like while I'm like lifting something. He's like, hey, man, me and my wife really like you.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
It's like,
I didn't.
damn.
I was like, no,
Yeah.
there's no way.
That,
Dude.
that's not
Yeah,
not where I thought that was
of
going.
course.
I thought you were gonna like just like DJ an orgy, but I didn't know they want you to.
Nah. Yeah. And so anyway.
How did you get out of that situation? I would have like probably punched him 10 minutes ago.
Nah, yeah. I was just like, hey man, like, nah, it's I can't do that, man.
It's my
Yeah.
religion.
Yeah, I was
You
like,
hit him with that. You're like,
yeah,
it's
right.
It's against my religion.
I was like, bro, I gotta get up early. And like, I don't really know y'all. And like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just good, blah,
church.
blah, blah. Yeah. Church. But yeah, so they kind of backed off. But that's happened like a few times.
That is wild.
Yeah.
That is
That happened to
fucking
me at one time
insane.
at Starbucks.
That actually happens to Isaiah when we do the man on the
Yeah. I
streets.
can't
It's the
even-
older.
It's like when I had my
Mhm.
full before I trimmed my beard down, I had it like kind of wolfy, and I had this one drunk Cleveland girl, like pretty much similar to you. I mean, all right, ma'am, like we're gonna wrap this interview up. She's like, we're not done yet, and I was like,
yeah, uh-huh.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, are you couldn't? And then like I was like, oh, I'm gonna say goodbye, and then I still don't know to this day if she said I love you or I'd love to. I don't know, but I think she said I love you. And I was just like, you're 43, ma'am. Like, I'm 23. I've had a lot of
serial killer.
Yeah.
like, I've had a lot of interesting interactions with women on Man on the Streets. That shit is just it's bold. Like,
Yeah.
bold.
bold.
Okay, well, so something that I've seen you post and be passionate about on social media, and actually that affects all of us and is a big situation in the metropolitan area. If I can direct your attention to the TV screen.
course, yeah.
Is this leaf blowers?
Oh wait, that's from the fucking. That's on the other computer. I'm sorry. Well, actually, here, look. The barnacles.
Oh.
The barnacles of Charleston. Yeah.
The barnacle.
How do you feel? Talk about the barnacles for a second.
Man, look. It's not that serious. It's never been that serious. I don't understand like why these parking measures are being taken so extreme. But that's wild. Like the boot was like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I fucked up. Yeah.
One thing.
Yeah, but a barnacle?
That's what I'm saying. It's like someone's in there thinking about, hey, how can we stop these guys? How can we obstruct their view or something, or get them to pay for it?
Like as if boots weren't enough. Like ain't nobody driving with a boot. Like why did you take it this far?
People are gonna start driving with a fucking barnacle.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
I said that. I will gladly hang my head out the window.
Just
Stick your head out the window, Yeah.
Like,
see, it's like a little thing that they
so crazy.
put on your windshield.
How do you like? Does
I
it
don't even know how they
stick
keep-
or is it heavy? Like
I don't know, bro. I think it's like magnet. I don't know how it works.
But
But
way more dangerous.
But Pete, all right. So look, imagine like you get one of them barnacles on your window, whatever,
yeah.
cool, and then like you got all these tickets that you ain't paid, right?
Oh, yeah.
So to get the barnacle off, probably it's like a fee of like $150 or some wild number like that, $150 or $2. Then you got all the tickets that you ain't paid.
Yeah.
On top of that, so you might be looking at like
Couple $100.
a couple $100 to get this thing off your window,
That's fucked.
or
Mhm.
you call
Safe
the-
flight.
Glass break.
Yep, and be like, hey man,
rate that.
I need a new window.
That's true. 'Cause, like, there's nothing. I don't see what is stopping it. Literally, the photo. It's on not even the full windshield.
Dude, just open your window.
That
Yeah.
too.
Your head
Whip
out.
that shit out there.
Yeah, fucking.
If it's not anything else, you can
Ace
literally
Ventura
just do
did it.
that.
He did. He did.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah, people are just gonna drive and not see.
Yeah,
It's
people
like,
are. That's
you're
not
just gonna
stopping
screw people
Yeah, like I
over.
said, people aren't gonna drive with a boom in their car. It's just gonna ruin it.
You can't.
People are going
wouldn't
to
work.
drive with the goddamn barnacle on their shit.
We're gonna hear a news story of some dude like flipping his car over the Ravenel Bridge because he had a barnacle on. Some shit like that.
Breaking news.
And it's gonna be their fault.
Exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
That's happened actually.
Oh, I'm sure. I don't doubt
Yeah.
it.
There's some messed up stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you develop your DJ sets? Like, does it just do you stay inspired by like music that you listen to, new music you find, or like do you just like sit down and kind of like block out time like a job type thing?
So I don't really put together DJ sets.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I know that's a thing. and
That's
I-
what you mean. So you're just more on the fly type shit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like I have like a lot of music, and I'm always like adding to it. But I typically just like read the room. I'm like wherever I'm playing at, I got enough of everything to where I can.
Right, that
you
makes
know.
sense. So you're listening and you're like, I will have this in my back pocket. My
Yeah,
tool set.
yeah. And I'm like looking around like the whole time I'm DJing too, like at who coming in, like how they dressed, what they're drinking, like every little thing like can like really like tell me like what their music taste is gonna be like. So
Sometimes you don't even think that there's that much attention being paid into it. But in your opinion, what do you think? Like, how do you think a DJ? How much, at least, do you think a DJ affects the audience, like the general mood and everything?
Oh,
about
like
it?
they can make or break a whole night.
Yeah.
Cause I mean like I don't think people don't realize how much like control we have over a room or like an experienced DJ has over the room. So like, I can make you go to the bar and drink by just switching up the tempo of the songs I'm playing.
Damn.
You know what I mean? I could have it hype in there and then I slow it down and stuff, and you like, I don't really like this song. And you think I just played a whack song, but really y'all wasn't at the bar enough.
Yeah.
So now you're going to the bar to get a drink. You know what I mean?
Dang.
And then a few
Oh,
minutes
yeah.
later, you hear like a banger come on or something, and you're back out there.
You're back out there just like that. Or like, you know what I mean? You can de-escalate situations. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, if you see something that, the bouncers don't see,
Yeah.
I can just switch up the music.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
snap.
don't play finito for some people because that shit will get you.
I love playing finito.
I love
Yeah,
that fucking.
I
That'll
love it.
change mine. You have never seen. They have never seen that side of me when that song comes on. I wouldn't even watch all. It's a different Isaiah. It's a different. I'm telling you, that song will.
I'm not familiar with Finito, but I got to pay attention next time.
You'll never hear
Is that
it.
the one you're talking about? Someone requested Marco to play.
Nah, I think I might have made a joke about it, but like I've been to bars downtown, they play that the entire vibe. It just and it's amazing.
It's
But
amazing. I'll do it next time I see y'all.
Okay, I bet.
I'm telling you, y'all see
Okay.
a different side of me. I'm not kidding.
If you not to, sometimes it's hard choosing favorites when you don't want to hurt any feelings. But if you had to pick a favorite like space of yours to play in that you're just like, this is a magic space, and I know it's gonna be lit every time. Does that exist here for you, or you like everywhere equally?
I don't like everywhere equally, but like, I think right now, and also like moving forward in my career, I'm in like a really good position to where I can play like exactly what I want to play at all the places that I play at, which is very like difficult, like to do.
Well, you worked yourself to get there, and
right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Nice.
But like I'm happy with like all the spaces that I get to play at,
That's
and
awesome.
I play at. I've started playing in Charlotte a lot more now.
Okay, nice.
And like the vibe out there, it's like it's
Charlotte's
different.
cool.
I like it, yeah. But yeah, best place to play, my house. 'Cause no request. It's just me and my goldfish
When
French
you're
fry.
done,
I love that. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, respect.
Well, so what do you have planned for the future? What are some goals or aspirations you have going forward? Maybe with your rapping or your DJing, or
both.
you want to like make an album or something? Or?
So I got like a lot of music out. I got a lot of
Okay.
projects out too, like albums, EPs
Under the
and
same
stuff.
name? Or?
Yeah, everything is under DJ Dollamenu. So my rap name and my DJ name is
Okay.
the same.
all consolidated. I like it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but
Marketing.
yeah, goals. Like my real goal is just to like, cause I'm doing everything I want to do now. You know what I mean? And I have been for a minute, but I just want to do it on a larger scale. So just keep doing what I'm doing,
Going.
just
Yeah.
bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And also, savor the moment too.
Mm-hmm.
You got where you got, you know what I mean? And you enjoy it.
Sip a nice next.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, yeah. For real. Well, on that note, unless you have anything else to say, anyone else, any questions, ladies and gentlemen?
Where can people see you?
So
Oh yeah, this is gonna come out on Friday. So where can we see you tonight?
okay, so on Friday, tonight I'll be at Share House on the other side, the side with the video wall.
Okay, nice.
Word.
Yeah, so because Thursdays I play there with Seth G. Shout out Seth G. I play there on the other side, but on Fridays I hold it down alone on the other side.
Okay, I
so.
bet. Well, we'll have to come out and check you out.
Finito.
Anita,
Yeah. Well, thanks again for joining us, man.
thank you for having
It
me.
was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
There is no apple juice here, by the way.
That is true. That is an egregious mistake. We need to get some
It's an
apple
apple juice.
cider,
Typically do.
some reds.
Apple juice is just so expensive, I
That's
don't know.
true.
We gotta get y'all that Martinelli sponsor.
That's
Oh,
true.
yes.
Heavenly Souls.
Yeah.
They actually hooked us up with some Martinellis when they came on the show the other night. Or
Other night,
Other
months ago.
yeah.